Carmine Appice and Billy Cobham and Tom Breckline and Rod Morgenstein, all these great drummers that became great drummers took lessons with this local guy, Al Miller, who was just a phenomenal teacher. It turns out he invited me to his house one day. He said, I want to invite you over to meet a buddy friend of mine. So I didn't know anything about that, and when I arrived there, I was passing his house, and there was a theater that was featuring tonight the Buddy Rich Big Band. So I knew Al liked Buddy Rich's Big Band, so I went in there and bought 3 tickets. One for me, one for Al, and one for his buddy friend. As funny as that sounds, that's how I did it. What the hell did I know at 18 years old? So I go out there and I buy these tickets and I knock on Al's door and I said, boy, and he answers the door. I said, Al, this is so great, man. Have I got a surprise for you? He says, boy, that's wonderful. Come on in. I've got a surprise for you too. And I walk into his house, and this is like a little just typical suburbia house on Long Island. It's just like it is out here. And I walk in and I turn around the steps and there's Buddy Rich sitting on the couch. Now, immediately when you meet a legend like this, the first thing that you do, which is a very normal behavior, is you begin to stammer. You don't know what to say, because you're seeing this great artist that you've seen perform with the likes on television, in the movies, Buddy Rich, Sinatra, all these great acts that Buddy played with his big band. My gosh, and then I go to, and I meet him, and Al says, Dom, I want you to meet Buddy Rich. Buddy, this is my student, Dom Famularo. So as I'm shaking Buddy's hand, I'm shaking his hand, and I said, Al, you told me I was going to meet a buddy friend of yours. This is not a buddy. This is the buddy. That's a big difference. And Buddy got such a kick out of that. And when I shook his hand, what I realized as I was shaking his hand, I turned his hand around. And I felt his hand. Well, I said, I'm shaking his hand. And I'm shaking his hand, and there was like no calluses on his hands. And here's a guy that had been playing drums for like 60 years. And I'm shaking his hand, and I said, Mr. Rich, I don't feel any calluses on your hands. And he said, if you have calluses, you're playing wrong. So I immediately thought fast and put my hands in my pockets. And realized that I had a lot to learn. And that really began the beginning process of accepting to yourself that we have a lot to learn. The fact that you're here at Woodsticks and you came here early enough for the clinics that we have here, that's a great sign that says you have a lot to learn. And I'm excited too afterwards. Don't forget, after we're done with the clinics, after you hear Danny play,